working on a 98 Subaru Outback EJ25 engine. It was recently rebuilt, but not so recent. It hasn't been fired in a minute, so we're going to do a will it start video on it. Last dailied was back in 2017, it looks like. So yeah, stay tuned to see the rest of the video. So in this video, we're going to be checking all the coolant, seeing how much oil is in this engine, going to double check that it still has spark, possibly even compression. We're going to spray this off with some WD-40 or PB Blaster because, you know, it's kind of old. And we're also going to take a bolt or socket and throw it on the crank and see if it spins over, possibly even pull the spark plugs, as fun as that is to get to on both sides. And yeah, we're just going to try to see how well it works. Stay tuned. So, I got a trusty air tank, air hose, air nozzle. We're going to start by blowing everything out, just getting all these pine needles and spider webs out of here. So, that one didn't want to go. Well, that didn't help that much, but it helped get the spider webs away. So, first, we're gonna, well, I guess second, we're gonna check this fluid, make sure it still has some in there at least. Which it does look like there's fluid in there if you want to get a close-up on that. Still got fluid, so throw this back on. Check the coolant reservoir, just to double check. There's a little bit in there. And that looks to me like it's full exactly. Yeah, and the engine oil looks pretty good too. So yeah, I would say it was probably rebuilt semi-new-ish. It probably has another 10-15,000 miles on the rebuild, so that's always a plus. There's some washer fluid. Just double check here. Oh, might need some brake fluid, possibly. Has the power steering. That's perfect. Smells good too. It's the best way to tell is if it smells like BO and it's all black, it's not good. Take a syringe, pull it out, put new stuff in, and yeah, should be good. And we'll probably pop off this air box just to make sure there's no rat's nests in there. It's always a smart idea. Is there another clip? Nope, just those two. Where are we getting hung up at? So we just had to do some inspecting to make sure that we were doing this properly, but you got to undo this in this worm gear clamp because this tube right here goes to the intake. So I believe now that we take this off, it should, in theory, just, yep, look at that. And besides some spider webs, doesn't look like it's too bad. So we'll run it. Throw this back on. Hopefully this runs. Let me know in the comments if you think it's going to run or not. I'm going to tighten these back up just to double check and make sure. Run gear clamps are not the best. Alrighty. Now that all the fluids are checked, we're going to stick a socket on the end of this crank bolt, see if she turns over a little bit. Hopefully there's compression that we can hear. Stay tuned. So we stuck a 22 millimeter, I believe this one is a 12 point. You don't need a 12 point for it. It's a 6 point. But stuck that on there because you got to stick that on there before you could stick the wrench down. So had some camera malfunction, but this is going to go onto there because there's no way you can fit the socket and the wrench down there at the same time. So now you stick this down here. If you see what I'm talking about. There we go. Oh. And you can't fit an extension down there. But you can cut the shit out of yourself. I would say that it turns over pretty freely. Yeah, I'd say it turns over. Sweet, so we're gonna spray some stuff with WD-40 and make it to where hopefully it starts. So, I know we said that we were gonna try to start this, but we're going to try to start it, but I'm gonna undo the distributor right here. That right there, that comes off so we can build some oil pressure without getting spark to the engine, so we can make it to where it actually, you know, gets oil in the cylinder and everything like that to where it works perfect. And I'm going to take some WD-40 and spray out this right here just to make sure all these springs work, spray these, and possibly even some of the alternator because there is some water, at least residue in there. So yeah. And obviously you want to wait a little bit, not like super long, but give it like, 3 minutes to let it soak in just to do its job. So because we were low on brake fluid, I'll pick that up in a second. Always put some .3 brake fluid or .4 in your brake reservoir. Make sure it's always topped off. So we'll do that now. Wow, it needed a lot. Wow. Let's see, that's probably good. Where does she sit with that? A little bit more. There we go. Perfect. Now that she's full, throw your lid back on. And this little nipple right here will be poking up if you need to throw more in very soon or not. But that didn't happen with this one, so now she's ready to go. Cap's down here. And we're going to throw the battery in it and clean the terminals real quick. These things are handy, super handy. Just like that, she's clean. Do it to both of them just to make sure. Always do it. Gotta. Because that way it looks nice and pretty and shiny. That was almost really bad. Alrighty. Now let's throw this on and see if we get any access to anything. One second. I'm going to need to go get some tools to make it to where these actually stay on there, because, you know, finger tight is not okay. Now that we got those hooked up, we're going to come up in here and turn her over and see if it works. That's a good sound. And you always want to pulsate it like that just so you don't burn up a starter. Keep that in mind. But she turns over great. So now we're going to plug in the coil pack, not distributor. That's right. Plug this in right here. And let's hope and pray she starts. Nice and plugged in. Make sure you hear the click. Let's see if she starts. Anticipation, right? Holy cow! What a Subaru, man! Heck yeah! After sitting for 6 years, that is amazing. Hear that kitten purr? Heck yeah! I'd say it started, boys and girls. Alrighty, since we got this one up, let's go with 10 likes and we'll start getting that good old Dodge in the back up and running. Hopefully, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see y'all in the next one.